Hey there, Evie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good, good. Hey, everyone. Today on Burn the Ship, we have Evie Fleming with Tree Evolution, and we also have a special guest with us for the first time, Miss Kellie Crawford. She's with the MP group. She's just getting going with us. So how are you ladies doing today?
We're great.
Yes,
Good,
we are. We're great.
Good. Well, Evie, the reason why this all came about is we focus at the MP Group on bringing value to everyone. And during the pandemic, we were trying to figure out how we can keep everyone connected and make sure that commerce was continuing to flow. And through that, we started doing podcasts. And we've figured out that providing that information about other business owners in the local area helps them to grow their business and helps us by bringing additional value on top of helping with the credit cards and things like that. So today we want to talk with you, find out what's your why, and share that with the people out there. So if you don't mind, just share with us a little bit about where you're from and how you've gotten to where you are.
Okay, I am a South Carolina gal, and so I was born and raised in South Carolina, and I also went to school there. I went to the College of Charleston. Awesome. If anyone's ever been to Charleston, they know it's a beautiful city. Mm-hmm. And actually, I was a pre-med student when I first went to the college, and then I went on and got in my studies, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a really long road, you know? And so, but I knew from an early age that I wanted to be in a profession that was helping people, something related to health, because my mom, when she worked at a hospital, and then sometimes she would bring, leftover like files or things that they were throwing out that, just to do stuff in the house, like file cabinets and different things. Mm-hmm. And my sister and I would take them and we would start to play hospital, like we'd gather our own little patients, make our own little files and make appointments. So I look back at it like I started early, like being very interested in it. And so when I went to school, it was like really diving into all about the body, how the body works, and just different things, how to feed it, and just the general well-being. And so I decided that instead I tried nursing, because I realized that the nurse really is right there in it with you. This is the person you see on a daily basis. This is the person that is working with you day by day to help you regain whatever you've lost at that time. And so I decided to go into nursing. And so I really did love it. And then eventually realized that my love was actually home health care. And it happened very organically. I worked in a hospital, did a lot of orthoneurology stuff. I worked on shifts where you come and, you get 15 minutes to figure out what you're doing. And then you hear your patients. And so then someone said, well, have you ever tried home health care? And I tried it. And then I realized that this is great because people thrive better in their own home environment. When they're in the hospital, they're still sitting there. And so when they're home and then they can try to acclimate to being at home, it's so much better. And so little by little, I was like, this is probably a lot of what drives me, of people feeling at home with themselves, at home in their body, and that they can have a sense of well-being. And so long story short, then someone else, a lot of times people are like, oh, you'd be good at this. And then it just plants a seed. And I think about it and be like, oh, well, let me try it. And I was long-term saying, well, what can I do also that helps people? And I found my way to reflexology, which is very natural, more holistic, type of, and it's very non-invasive. And it does bring the person more on board with their health and them, again, as I said, feeling at home with their body, home with their choices and stuff. So
when you say reflexology, immediately I'm thinking about stretching and things like that. Is that what it consists of? Or tell us a little bit about that.
No, reflexology is where you do alternating pressure on people's feet You can do it on their hands. You can do it on their face and on their ears.
Okay.
And it's been a proven method to show that it is activating like your meridian pathways in your body. If you study the body, you'll see all these diagrams where it shows energy pathways through the body. And the premise of it is that if you're having pain or you're having something, it's sometimes just stuck energy that's in the body. Like the body's trying to notify you that something's not right here. I need a little assistance. And so with the reflexology, it's like stimulating your system, stimulating your nerves, stimulating those pathways. And so in a reflexology session, it's almost like I tell people I'm having a conversation with your body.
Okay.
And it's telling me places that it wants you to note and then want you to show a little bit of care. So it's very different from a foot massage.
I can see that. But I see how that can tie in from your nursing beginning and then moving into getting specifically how you can make the body flow together. But I just wanted to ask because I wasn't sure exactly what it meant, and I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
So from there, where'd you go from there?
Well, with the reflexology, when I first took it, I did the face at first, and I would have clients and they would say, oh my God, if you could do the rest of my body, I would just be really great. And so then I started to explore the foot reflexology and then got certifications in that and then just constantly, like again, this year I'm taking some more courses. My brain is like, oh, I want to learn more. The more that my clients ask me different things, it makes me curious. And then I want to dive into that so I can come back and help them. And so I kept practicing. And then I worked at a facility where clients came in. They came to detox and came to like really be more body centric. And so, but then eventually I was like, I think I'm ready to venture out on my own a little bit. And so, yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I was looking at the lineage, trying to make sure I had an idea of, what you had going on. And I know it went from reflexology to yoga. Is that where we went to next?
Well, yoga actually came in before the reflexology.
Okay.
It was, it's interesting enough, I'm deciding like how to, I put them both into my practice because I was, most people come to yoga, I think, as students. They should actually come there as students because then you practice it and you get to know it and then you love it. And then now it's like, oh, I want to teach it. Okay. But what happened was one of my favorite teachers came up to me after a class and said, you really should teach. Okay. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll see you next Friday.
Like she spotted your potential.
Right. And so then she was like, no, Evie, I'm serious. You really should teach. And so I was like, okay. So I looked it up. And in 2010 was the first time I finished my class. Okay. And then I went on to, there's an ashram here in Atlanta, an urban ashram, and I took a year-long thing with them, and I became a teacher.
Well, awesome. As I was learning about Kellie, she said she did have some yoga experience. So if you can share your yoga experience, and then Evie, you tell us how that compares to what it is that so we can have some context.
I would not necessarily say it's too much experience. Okay. I have taken a few hot yoga classes, and I've always been flexible because I was a cheerleader, but that is like being hot in that room and working out at the same time. I just didn't think that I realized how much goes into it. Like I wasn't ready for it. It's a lot harder than one would expect, but it's definitely... I got into it because one of the guys that I used to work with, he was a teacher, and he kind of convinced me to go, and it was so fun. I felt great afterwards. It's like I'm sweating profusely, but I got a great workout. It felt great. I feel stretched out and good to go. But yeah, yoga is very therapeutic. Yeah. It's like relaxing your mind almost while you're...
Yes, it definitely is. It's funny you should say that about hot yoga because I always... in the beginning, I would always tell my students, when you sign up for a class, you need to do a little research. Make sure you know what it's all about. And I used to teach hot yoga, that you would say that. And I would see people come in, and if they were new and their faces were new and I didn't see them, I would say, okay, I just want you to know the room is hot, but it's going to get hotter, okay? Yeah. So when I close the door, it's going to get above 105 in here. And my thing to you is, if you get warm, you need to go low, because hot air rises. Just go and sit low for a little. But if you leave the room, you can't come back, because now you've changed your body temperature. And so they would be like, I'm telling you, get your water and everything. But you're right. It's very therapeutic, because I have to remind my students that the original premise of yoga was the quiet meditation part. You're moving through all of the asanas and poses in a sense to relieve the stress in the body, so you can get the clarity of the mind. So going into hot yoga is like amplifying that, right?
Yeah.
Because now you're sweating and you can't think of anything else but that, right? So everything clears out. And by the time you get on the mat, you do feel that sense of release, like, okay, I definitely let go of something.
Yeah, I found that it was easier to do after I had like a really hard exam or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Going to yoga was definitely like okay, chill out, relax, and just take a breath. But I really enjoy it. Yoga is great for your health and your mind.
Yeah, it's a good, it's a stretch, because it's you on you. It's not weights. It's you with you on your mat. And then you can move within your boundaries and within your scope of what you want to do. So you have control of that. So, but it is a good stretch. I used to, my chiropractor used to say, if you go to yoga, it's like a hour-long chiropractic session, because you're really moving and stretching. And I've had moments where I've been going into a pose and I felt my whole back just align and crack with a twist. Yeah.
That had to feel great.
Yeah, it did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love how, you guys have had that experience and you're able to share it, and I'm able to learn about it as well. I've always played sports, but I've never, tried yoga before. And it seems like it's something that can help you with the stretching as well as the calming of the mind. And maybe it's something I should look into. Maybe
it would be a great compliment. Like I tell people, if you have a lot of cardio, then the next day do yoga. Like, mesh it in or marry it in with what you do, because you've tightened the muscles. Now you want to stretch them back out. Even the stretching is strengthening the muscles, because yoga is still weight bearing exercise, even though people think it's not, but it is.
Okay. Yeah, it is. So basically we're going to get you in a yoga session.
That's cool. I'm fine with that. Hey, listen, right? I'm always stretching. I have to try to stretch my circle, so I'll do that as well. So we went from nursing, I had it incorrect. We went from nursing to yoga to reflexology. Is that what brought us to tree evolution, or was there a stop in between there as well?
No. The tree evolution came after all of that, because then I was like trying to branch out on my own. And then I came up with the name tree evolution, because I feel like, wow, my whole thing has been evolving. And I just love, I'm a big fan of being outside and grounding yourself and just being in nature. And so just the trees, that spoke to me. And so it was a combination of thinking about a lot of things. And then I came up with the name tree evolution, because I felt like, oh yeah, we are constantly evolving, growing our roots, branching out. So it made a lot of sense for my business name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. What would you say is the value add that you would bring with the service that you provide? If you were to share that with others, what would be that value that you would bring?
I think because of all of my experience with the different modalities and different things that I've learned, the value add is to give them a place to start, like where to sit and ground themselves, so they can start to look in different directions. Because just coming, like when I have someone in a reflexology session, yes, they came for reflexology, but now I can say, okay, what about yoga? What about what you're eating? Like I can give them a more rounded approach, which is what I'm trying to instill into them, to look in several directions when they're looking at their health.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Because again, the purpose of this is try to explain to people what it is that you're doing, who would you say is a great referral for you? Who's a person you're looking to try to help?
Well, probably someone first and foremost that's ready that they feel like, okay, I've tried other means and I'm trying to look for something that's more natural and holistic in that way. And a lot of the clients that come to me have exhausted other things and they're like, I'm going to try this. And then, they sometimes are having foot pain. A lot of times it's usually from the ground up. They're having trouble with their feet or they're having trouble walking. And so reflexology is great for that, and yoga too, because now we're trying to help them gain balance and get them back on their feet.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's good. So we know who a good referral for you is. For us at the MP Group, having referral partners is the thing that helps us to grab a lot of success. So like a CPA is a great referral partner, or a website developer. Who does that look like for you, so we can introduce you to good referral partners?
Well, probably maybe a podiatrist who's doing that, or if you have maybe even offices or organizations where their employees sit a lot and they're looking to incorporate something new into there, because a lot of companies now are realizing their employees may need a little program of something to de-stress a little bit. And so yoga for sure helps with that. And I have also been going a little bit into facilities where they're active seniors a little bit, and getting into that, because yoga and reflexology is a good, I guess, takeaway or a good resource for them for their health, at that stage. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So as she shared, if you know of a human that's having problems at the roots or the feet, she can fix it so you have beautiful branches. And if you guys know of any business owners that deal in holistic type of care, that'll be a great referral partner for. So, we got a good idea of what it is that you do, and who you're looking for and who you're looking to connect with. What would you say is on the horizon for your business? Where are you looking to try to go from here?
Well, lately I'm venturing with two things. One, I'm doing a little podcast too.
Okay.
My podcast is I'm keeping it to 5 minutes, but I'm working with trying to educate people in using reflexology, like talking about the feet and then talking about how that carries over into your life. Like, for instance, I just did one recently about people walking on the edges of their feet. Like, if you're walking and your feet are bowing out, like, what does that do? And what meridian is that in your body? Like, that's your bladder meridian. Like, and then is your water intake? Like, how you can take things and you can really go down a rabbit hole a little bit just from one little observation of how you're walking and how your feet. And I'm keeping them to 5 minutes because I know everybody's like, oh, I need a quick little touch in, and just to educate in that way. And to continue maybe starting to have live broadcasts where I'm talking more on the body and how to just gain awareness, because a lot of what happens is once I give the client a piece and they have awareness on it, then the thing moves, because now their attention is on it and they can pay attention to it. And then lastly, I'm deciding to see if I can write a book that incorporates reflexology and yoga together, because there are a lot of books about separates, but not about the two of them together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Now, share with us, what's the name of the podcast? How can we find it?
It's called Are You Listening?
Okay. Are you listening? Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Are you guys listening? You need to be listening. Better go and check her out so you can learn something and make that flow of the body go well. Well, again, we appreciate you coming by today. Is there anything we can do at the MP Group to help you?
No, mainly, just to keep doing what you guys are doing. I really have been delighted to get to know you, Roderick, and be part of your networking group. It's been amazing. And I'll tell everyone who's listening who if you've not been to their office, to come see it. This is great over here, you guys. You can feel the energy over here. It's really great. So I'm excited that I got to be connected with you guys.
Awesome. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Kellie and Evie. Tree Evolution. Go and check her out. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.